They were told to stay away, yet the Empire crossed into Earth's atmosphere HFY. The sky above the Atlantic shimmered with strange colors that no one had ever seen before. People on ships and planes looked up and gasped. Satellites picked up huge objects moving fast through the upper atmosphere. Lieutenant Jack Mason was the first pilot to report them. He was flying a reconnaissance jet, scanning the skies when the radar blipped with massive signals. Jack frowned. The shapes were enormous and moved in perfect lines. Nothing like this had ever been recorded. At the Orbital Research Station, Dr. Laura Bennett stared at her monitors in disbelief. Energy readings from the approaching fleet were unlike anything her team had studied. The machines were reading power outputs far beyond Earth technology. "This can't be natural," she muttered. "These ships are designed for war." Her fingers moved quickly across the controls, adjusting sensors, trying to get a clearer picture. Below, in cities and towns around the world, people noticed the strange sky. Bright lights and shadows flickered across oceans and mountains. News outlets scrambled to cover the events, but signals were unstable. Governments convened emergency meetings. The Global Council gathered in a secure location, trying to understand the threat. Captain Eric Lawson, a veteran pilot in the Global Space Defense, was called to the council. He listened carefully as the leaders debated. Some wanted to respond with diplomacy. Others wanted to prepare for war. "We need to see what they want first," Eric said, "but we have to be ready to fight if it comes to that." Then came the message. A voice echoed across all communication channels, calm and cold. The aliens spoke in perfect English, though their voice carried a strange, metallic echo. They warned humans to stay away from matters beyond Earth. They said the universe was not for humans to meddle with, and any interference would be punished. The world was silent after the broadcast. The warning was clear, and it was frightening. But even as the words sank in, the alien ships continued their descent. They crossed the upper layers of the atmosphere, ignoring Earth's airspace rules. The huge ships reflected the sunlight, making the sky glow like fire. They moved in formation, precise and mechanical, as if Earth's warnings meant nothing. Jack Mason and his squadron scrambled their jets. Their orders were to observe, intercept, and defend if necessary. The fighters rose into the sky, engines roaring. Jack felt a mix of fear and excitement. He had trained for emergencies, but this was unlike anything in the simulations. He looked at the other pilots. Young and old, they all felt the same tension. The world was watching, and failure was not an option. Above the Atlantic, the first contact began. Small drones from the alien fleet darted out, scanning the Earth below. The jets flew close to observe, careful not to provoke them yet. Jack noticed the drones were agile and fast. They moved in patterns that suggested intelligence and strategy. "They're testing us," he said into the radio. "We need to report everything." On the ground, emergency protocols activated. Cities near the coasts were evacuated. Hospitals and shelters opened. Families clutched each other, watching the sky light up with alien ships. Governments activated defense satellites, but many were unsure if these weapons could reach the enemy at such high altitudes. Engineers worked frantically to make adjustments, hoping to get even a small advantage. Dr. Laura Bennett studied the energy signals from the alien ships. She noticed they pulsed in a rhythm that might be a form of communication or control. "If we can understand it," she said, "we might find a weakness." She called for a team of scientists to help decode the signals. Time was short, and the aliens were moving closer every minute. The alien ships descended over the Atlantic and then moved toward the major oceanic cities. They did not attack immediately, but their presence caused panic. Ships in harbors tried to leave, planes were grounded, and communication systems became overloaded. People looked to the sky with fear and wonder. No one had ever imagined a force this advanced reaching Earth. Captain Eric Lawson led a recon mission to follow the alien fleet. His team flew in tight formation, careful to remain unseen. The aliens noticed the jets but did not respond aggressively. It was as if they were confident, as if humans posed no threat. Eric realized they were observing humanity, testing reactions before making any major moves. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Jack Mason felt the pressure of responsibility. Each second brought new questions. Could their jets hold against alien weapons? Would Earth's defenses even make a dent? He watched one alien ship open a small energy portal in the atmosphere. It looked like a small sun, glowing brightly. Jack's heart raced. They were demonstrating power, warning humans not to interfere. Back at the orbital research station, Dr. Bennett worked with her team. They noticed a pattern in the alien fleet's movement, suggesting a tactical formation. She explained to the military advisors that these ships were not random. They move like a single organism, she said. If we can predict their moves, we might be able to defend ourselves. On the ground, civilians struggled to cope. Families packed vehicles and fled cities. Communication networks were full of warnings, rumors, and panic. Jack and Eric knew that morale was crucial. People needed to believe that humans could survive this encounter. The pilots flew above the cities, visible only as blurs in the sky, giving hope that someone was watching over them. The alien ships hovered, testing Earth's atmosphere. They did not attack major population centers immediately, but small probes entered cities. People reported seeing strange, glowing figures moving through streets and forests. Military teams tried to intercept, but the aliens moved too fast. The probes seemed to study humans, recording reactions and disappearing before they could be stopped. Jack Mason and Eric Lawson gathered in the command center. "We need a plan," Jack said. "We can't just react, we have to anticipate." Eric nodded. "We will observe, gather intelligence, and strike only when we have a chance." Both knew the odds were against them. Every decision mattered. One mistake could cost millions of lives. Dr. Laura Bennett discovered something surprising. The energy signals from the alien fleet, when analyzed carefully, had small fluctuations. "It might be a weakness," she said, "a rhythm we could exploit. We need to study it further." The scientists worked around the clock, running simulations and calculations. The human mind, she realized, was faster than the aliens expected. The alien fleet began moving toward the east coast of America. Cities along the coast prepared for evacuation. Ships moved out to sea, planes returned to hangars, and military bases went on high alert. Despite the fear, there was determination. Humans had survived wars, natural disasters, and disasters in space. They would not give up easily. Jack flew alongside Eric over New York Harbor. The alien ships cast enormous shadows across the city, making it look small and fragile. Jack felt a surge of courage. "We can do this," he said. "We have to," Eric responded quietly. "Humans have something they don't, creativity and courage. We can't be predicted." As night fell, the alien fleet held position above the cities. Their lights reflected in the water, creating an eerie beauty. People watched from rooftops, some praying, some shouting in fear. Satellites monitored energy readings, and scientists worked to decode alien technology. Every human effort was connected in a massive web of defense and hope. In the skies above the Atlantic, the first skirmishes began. Small fighter jets attempted to approach the alien ships, observing and testing. Laser pulses and energy shields met the jets, but none of the pilots were hurt yet. Jack and Eric realized that the aliens were confident but curious. They were studying humanity more than threatening it directly for now. Back on Earth, governments issued public statements urging calm. "Stay indoors, follow emergency instructions. Trust your leaders." Citizens complied, though fear was palpable. Families huddled together, watching the night sky light up with alien presence. It was a moment no one would ever forget. Dr. Laura Bennett studied the alien movements carefully. She noticed that their formation was not random. "They are calculating, predicting," she said, "but they are not perfect. Every system has limits." She prepared to share this with the military. Perhaps humans could find a way to defend themselves after all. The first day of alien presence ended with tension still high. Jack Mason and Eric Lawson returned to base, exhausted but alert. "This is just the beginning," Eric said. "They want to see how we react. They think they are in control." Jack nodded. "Then we show them humans are never predictable." All across the world, humans stayed awake, watching the sky, preparing for the unknown. The aliens had entered Earth's atmosphere despite warnings, showing immense power. But humans had something else: courage, creativity, and a will to survive. As night deepened, the lights of the alien fleet shimmered in the sky. For the first time, humans understood that their world had changed forever. They were facing an enemy unlike any other. Yet somewhere deep inside, a spark of hope remained. Humanity was ready to fight. Jack looked at the horizon, the alien ships looming above, and whispered to himself, "We won't back down. Not now, not ever." The first part of this story ended with the world on alert, the aliens above, and humans preparing to show their resilience. Fear and wonder mixed together, but determination and courage burned bright. The morning after the aliens entered Earth's atmosphere was tense. Cities near the coast were quiet, almost empty. People stayed in shelters, watching the sky. On the radar, the alien fleet moved in patterns that were strange but organized. Captain Eric Lawson and Lieutenant Jack Mason prepared their jets for the first real encounter. Jack climbed into his fighter, checking every instrument. His hands shook slightly, but his eyes were sharp. "We have to see what they are planning," he said. Eric nodded, standing beside him. "We don't know what they will do, but we can't wait for them to make the first move." As the pilots took off, they saw the alien ships hovering like giants above the clouds. The energy shields around the ships glowed faintly in the sunlight. Jack felt a mix of fear and determination. The humans were smaller, weaker, and slower, but they had courage. That courage had carried them through wars, disasters, and space missions before. The first drones appeared. Small, fast, and glowing, they darted through the sky, scanning the Earth below. Jack and his team followed, careful not to get too close. They noticed the drones moved like a single organism, almost like a school of fish. Every movement was coordinated. Eric said, "They're studying us. They want to know how humans react under pressure." On the ground, Dr. Laura Bennett and her team studied the alien drones' energy signatures. "They are connected," she said. "We might be able to predict their movement if we analyze their patterns." Scientists worked quickly, feeding data to the military. Every calculation could make a difference between life and death. Meanwhile, in New York City, emergency crews tried to keep order. Streets were mostly empty, except for soldiers and first responders. Helicopters patrolled above, reporting any unusual movement. Families huddled in shelters, listening to the occasional report from the news. Every eye looked to the sky, hoping humans could defend themselves. Jack and Eric were the first to engage the drones. Their jets moved quickly, weaving between clouds and sunlight. They fired small energy pulses at the drones, but the alien ships easily avoided the attacks. Jack realized the drones were testing their reflexes. Every move the humans made was noted, recorded, and possibly used against them later. Back at the command center, Dr. Bennett discovered a subtle weakness. The drones' energy pulses followed a predictable rhythm. "If we time our attacks right," she said, "we can disrupt their movement, even if only for a few seconds." The military listened carefully, updating their strategy. Jack and Eric received the instructions via radio. The first small victory came when one of Jack's teammates, pilot Ryan Cole, managed to disable a drone by hitting the energy pulse at the exact moment Dr. Bennett predicted. The drone fell from the sky, leaving a trail of light before disappearing into the ocean. Cheers erupted in the command center. It was proof humans could fight back, even against a technologically superior enemy. Meanwhile, the alien fleet continued its descent. Large ships moved closer to major cities, but they did not attack directly. It was clear they wanted to test humans, to measure courage, skill, and adaptability. Eric watched the formation. "They think humans are predictable. They will learn the hard way we are not." On the other side of the Atlantic, engineer Mia Thompson worked on the defense satellites. She had been given permission to try an untested upgrade using energy frequencies based on Dr. Bennett's data. "This is risky," she said, speaking to her assistant, "but if it works, we might disable part of their shields." Mia focused on the console, adjusting satellite outputs and targeting parameters. The screens flickered as the satellites began to respond. Jack and Eric continued patrolling the skies. Another group of drones appeared near the east coast. The pilots attacked, using the new strategy. Timing their energy pulses with the drone rhythms, they managed to disrupt several drones' movement. The aliens were surprised, at least according to the energy readings Dr. Bennett transmitted. Humans were more clever than they expected. In the cities below, people noticed small explosions in the sky, bright lights, as drones fell harmlessly into the ocean or empty areas. Fear mixed with hope. Humans could fight, and for the first time, some people dared to believe they could survive this encounter. Meanwhile, the alien command ship began transmitting a message. Its tone was calm, almost arrogant. "Humans are inferior. Your tactics are predictable. Surrender now or face destruction." Eric replied through secure channels, but there was no response. "They don't negotiate," he said. "They only test. That's their style." Jack nodded. "Then we show them humans are unpredictable." On the ground, Dr. Bennett worked with Mia Thompson to expand the satellite network. If we can coordinate the satellites with the jets, Laura said, we might be able to create openings in their shields. Mia adjusted frequencies, making small tweaks to improve signal timing. The new system activated just as Jack engaged a larger alien drone squadron. Jack's fighter moved in and out of the drone's attacks, weaving like a bird through a storm. Eric coordinated with other pilots, forming a pattern to trap the drones. When the satellites activated, beams of energy hit the drones at precise angles, causing disruptions in their shields. Several drones fell from the sky. For a moment, the alien fleet paused, as if surprised by human ingenuity. Captain Lawson realized that humans had one advantage the aliens did not: creativity. The aliens moved in perfect patterns, predictable and rigid. Humans, on the other hand, could improvise, change tactics instantly, and think outside any pattern. It was a dangerous advantage, but it could turn the tide. At the orbital research station, Dr. Bennett discovered something else. Small variations in the alien energy signatures could indicate a central control system. If we can locate and disrupt it, she said, we could cause confusion in their fleet. Military officials listened carefully, updating their plans. A coordinated strike might be possible. The aliens decided to test humans further. They fired energy pulses near a small coastal town, destroying a few buildings. No civilians were hurt because evacuation orders had been followed, but it was a warning. Humanity understood that this fight was serious. Jack felt anger mixed with determination. They think they can scare us, he said. We won't back down. Eric led a night mission to intercept a group of alien ships moving toward the harbor. The pilots used darkness to hide their approach, weaving through the clouds. Jack's fighter followed Eric, energy pulses ready. When the aliens noticed, it was too late. The coordinated strike, guided by satellites and timing calculations, disabled two ships temporarily. They drifted in the sky before the aliens regained control. The victory was small, but it gave hope. People across the world saw that humans could fight back. Soldiers, scientists, and civilians felt more confident. It was the first sign that Earth would not be conquered easily. Meanwhile, Mia Thompson continued working on new devices. She adapted drones to mirror human thinking, making them unpredictable. Jack, Eric, and other pilots coordinated with these drones, creating a small but effective force. Humans were learning, adapting faster than the aliens expected. Dr. Bennett realized something important. The aliens had underestimated humans from the beginning. They expected predictable reactions, strict tactics, and fear. Instead, humans were unpredictable, courageous, and willing to take risks. It was this human quality, she realized, that could turn the tide of the entire conflict. As night deepened, the alien fleet moved toward the east coast again. Large ships hovered over cities, scanning for movement. Jack and Eric prepared for another patrol. The pilots felt the weight of responsibility. Every move mattered. Every choice could save lives or cost them. On the ground, civilians watched the night sky. Lights flickered as drones fell, creating a strange, beautiful scene. Fear was still there, but so was hope. Humans had shown they could fight, and for the first time, people felt that survival was possible. Jack and Eric returned to base after the night patrol. Their learning were dangerous, Jack said. Eric nodded. They're not used to creativity, unpredictability, and courage. That's our edge. Both pilots knew it would not be easy. The aliens had power, technology, and experience, but humans had something they could not replicate: the will to survive and protect their world. Dr. Bennett and Mia Thompson continued working on new defenses, analyzing alien patterns, and preparing for the next encounter. Humanity was learning quickly. Every small victory, every observation, added to the growing confidence that Earth could resist even this advanced empire. The aliens had come to test humans, but humans had risen to the challenge. Courage, intelligence, and creativity shone in every pilot, scientist, and civilian. For the first time, humans knew they could fight back, and they would not surrender. The second day of the invasion ended with tension still high, but with hope stronger than before. The world was united in purpose. Humans were proving that even against overwhelming odds, they could fight. Jack Mason and Eric Lawson looked at the night sky, alien ships hovering above, and knew the battle had only just begun. Humanity was learning, adapting, and preparing. The first real resistance had begun, and the aliens were about to discover that humans were not easily controlled. The courage and creativity of a small planet could challenge even the mightiest empire. The alien fleet had retreated slightly after the first human strikes, but their presence still dominated the skies. Earth's leaders worked non-stop to organize defenses. Captain Eric Lawson and Lieutenant Jack Mason prepared for the next phase. The goal was no longer just observation. Humans would take the fight to the aliens. Jack's squadron gathered at dawn. The pilots checked their fighters carefully. Every jet, every weapon system, every sensor had to be perfect. "We are small, but we are fast and clever," Eric said, addressing the pilots. "We may not match their power, but we can outthink them. Every move matters, Doctor." Laura Bennett had worked through the night to analyze the alien ships. She discovered weak points in their shield patterns and energy flows. "If you strike at these points simultaneously," she said, "you can disrupt the fleet's formation for a short time. It's risky, but it could give you an advantage." Jack listened closely. He felt a mixture of fear and excitement. This mission would test every skill they had. Engineer Mia Thompson had improved the defense satellites and adapted them to coordinate with the fighters. Small drones, guided by human strategy, flew alongside the jets. They could distract, confuse, and attack the alien drones, creating openings for human pilots. "Timing is everything," Mia said. "If we act together, we can hit the fleet hard." Jack climbed into his fighter and took off, joining Eric and the other pilots. The sky was filled with light as they approached the alien fleet. Ships hovered above cities, massive and intimidating, glowing with energy shields. Drones zipped around them, scanning and recording everything. The humans moved in formation, precise and ready. The first strike began over the Atlantic. Small human squads targeted alien drones first, using the satellites to time their attacks. The energy pulses hit at the exact moment Dr. Bennett predicted. Several drones were disabled, falling harmlessly into the ocean. Jack felt a surge of hope. Humans could do this. Humans could fight. The alien fleet reacted quickly. Energy beams shot out from larger ships, forcing the pilots to dodge and weave. Jack's fighter moved fast, avoiding each strike while firing small pulses at weak points in the drones' shields. Eric coordinated the squad, giving orders and tracking targets. The aliens were powerful, but humans were unpredictable. That unpredictability became their strength. Meanwhile, Mia Thompson activated a secondary satellite network. It sent concentrated pulses to interfere with the alien ships' shields. Two medium-sized vessels slowed, their energy shields flickering. The pilots seized the moment. Jack targeted a shield generator and fired a precise pulse. Sparks and energy bursts flew from the alien ship. It drifted uncontrollably for a moment before the aliens regained control. On the ground, people watched the sky with mixed fear and amazement. Explosions and lights streaked across the heavens. Humanity was fighting back for the first time, and small victories gave hope. Soldiers coordinated ground defense and monitored communications, preparing for any further attacks. Civilians stayed indoors, praying and watching as the human pilots challenged the alien invaders. Jack and Eric noticed the alien command ship sending small fighters toward their position. They adjusted tactics. "Split and attack," Eric said. "We divide their focus and hit weak points." The pilots broke into small groups, weaving through clouds and laser fire. Jack's team targeted energy nodes on the drones while Eric's team drew fire away. Dr. Bennett monitored the fight, giving updates over the radio. "Node on the left side of the central ship is vulnerable. Jack, aim carefully." Jack adjusted his aim, firing a calculated pulse. Sparks flew and a drone exploded. The energy ripple spread, briefly disabling several nearby drones. Human ingenuity had struck first. The alien fleet reacted violently. Energy beams shot toward the human jets, forcing evasive maneuvers, but humans were quick. They used every tactic they could imagine: zigzag patterns, sudden dives, and coordinated attacks. The aliens were strong, but the humans' creativity surprised them. They did not expect this level of strategy. Eric led a squadron toward a large alien ship near the coast. Jack followed closely. The ship's shields glowed brightly, but Dr. Bennett's calculations had found a rhythm. "Hit the pulses in sequence," she instructed. The pilots timed their attacks. Small bursts from the jets struck the weak points. Sparks and energy flares lit up the sky. The ship shuddered, and for a few tense moments it drifted, unable to maintain formation. Humanity had managed something impossible. A single large alien ship had been disrupted by smaller, weaker fighters. Jack felt exhilaration. "We are making them pay attention," he said. Eric nodded. "And we will show them humans cannot be predicted or controlled." Meanwhile, Mia Thompson adjusted the drones, sending them to protect critical areas in the cities. The drones acted as decoys, drawing energy fire away from the pilots. Civilians watched as the sky filled with streaks of light and energy. Fear was still present, but hope and awe mixed with it. Humanity had proven they could fight back. The alien fleet began a tactical retreat, reorganizing after the human attacks. Jack and Eric followed, careful not to be drawn into a trap. The pilots communicated constantly, adjusting their movements based on the satellite's feedback and Dr. Bennett's calculations. Each maneuver required focus, speed, and intuition. Humans had something no machine could replicate: instinct. As the fleet moved away from the East Coast, small skirmishes continued across other parts of the world. Pilots from Europe and Asia coordinated strikes, following similar tactics. Drones disabled alien ships in coordinated attacks, giving human pilots openings to strike. Humans were learning quickly, adapting faster than the aliens expected. Dr. Bennett noticed something important. The aliens relied heavily on centralized control. Disrupting key nodes caused confusion in smaller ships. "We can exploit this," she said. "If we target command structures simultaneously, we can cause disorder in the fleet." Military leaders quickly planned the next coordinated strike. The next day, the humans launched a daring raid on a central alien ship hovering above the Atlantic. Jack, Eric, and a team of pilots led the attack. Drones provided cover, confusing alien fighters and creating openings. Every strike was precise, guided by Dr. Bennett's calculations and Mia Thompson's satellite support. Jack's fighter approached the central ship cautiously. Its size was immense, and energy shields glowed constantly. He targeted weak points, firing small pulses in calculated sequences. Sparks flew, energy shields flickered, and the ship drifted slightly out of formation. Eric coordinated with the team, striking other nodes simultaneously. For the first time, humans had disrupted a central alien command ship. The fleet's coordination faltered. Drones collided, shields dropped, and several ships became temporarily disabled. Humanity had forced the aliens to react instead of acting freely. The victory was not complete, but it was significant. On the ground, people cheered as news spread of the successful raid. Civilians felt hope and pride. Humans had taken the fight to the alien fleet. Soldiers and engineers worked harder, inspired by the pilots' courage and ingenuity. Scientists like Dr. Bennett and engineers like Mia Thompson were celebrated for their role in the victory. The alien fleet regrouped further from Earth, analyzing human tactics. They realized humans were unlike any other species they had encountered. Predictable opponents could be destroyed easily. Humans were different. They were clever, adaptable, and willing to take risks. That realization caused concern among the alien leaders. Jack and Eric returned to base, exhausted but proud. "We showed them humans can fight," Jack said. Eric nodded. "And we are just getting started." They will remember this. Both pilots understood the next days would be harder. The aliens would adapt, but humans had proven they could innovate faster than expected. Mia Thompson continued developing new drones and systems, planning for future strikes. Dr. Bennett analyzed alien energy flows, preparing strategies to exploit weaknesses further. Humans were learning rapidly, turning fear into strength and uncertainty into advantage. By nightfall, humans had achieved something remarkable. Small victories across the globe had shown the alien fleet that Earth would not surrender easily. Jack looked at the sky, glowing with alien lights and streaks from human jets. He felt pride and determination. Humans could win if they remained clever, coordinated, and brave. The first real battle for Earth's survival had ended, but the war was only beginning. Humans had shown courage, creativity, and unity. They had disrupted a powerful alien fleet, proving that even against a superior force, ingenuity and determination could change the outcome. Captain Eric Lawson and Lieutenant Jack Mason knew the fight ahead would be difficult. The aliens were powerful, experienced, and ruthless. But humans had something they could never have: the will to protect their home, their families, and their planet. That will, combined with strategy and courage, made humans dangerous opponents. As night fell over the Atlantic, the alien ships hovered silently, reassessing. Humans had struck first, and for the first time the aliens understood that Earth was not weak. Humanity was unpredictable, intelligent, and fearless. Jack Mason whispered to himself, watching the stars through the cockpit canopy, "We fight for every life. We fight for Earth. We will not lose." The humans had taken the battle into space, striking the alien fleet with courage and strategy. Victory was not complete, but hope burned brighter than ever. Humanity had proven that even a small planet could challenge the mightiest empire in the universe. The sun rose over a tense and restless Earth. Humanity had survived the first real clashes with the alien fleet, but the danger had not passed. Cities were rebuilding, pilots were training, and scientists worked tirelessly to study the aliens. Captain Eric Lawson and Lieutenant Jack Mason prepared for the next phase. This time, the humans would strike deeper into the enemy fleet. Jack climbed into his fighter with a sense of purpose. He glanced at Eric, who gave a firm nod. "We've shown them we can fight," Eric said. "Now we show them humans cannot be defeated easily. Every move counts." Jack felt a mixture of fear and determination. The aliens were stronger and had technology beyond human understanding, but humans had courage, creativity, and the will to survive. Dr. Laura Bennett worked with her team to calculate the aliens' next likely movements. She had noticed that the fleet relied on central command ships to coordinate their attacks. "If we can disrupt the command ships," she said, "we can force confusion in the entire fleet. That will be our advantage." The military listened carefully, planning the strike. Engineer Mia Thompson coordinated the satellites and drones, ensuring that every strike would be timed perfectly. "This is our chance," she said. "If we succeed, we can cripple their ability to attack Earth directly." Her fingers flew over the controls, activating drones to patrol the skies and protect critical points on the planet. Jack and Eric led a squadron toward the alien fleet hovering above the Atlantic. The ships were massive, glowing with energy and shields. Drones moved around them, scanning, calculating, recording. The humans approached cautiously, weaving through clouds and sunlight. Every second mattered. The first target was a medium-sized command ship. Jack fired calculated energy pulses at weak points in the shields, following Dr. Bennett's timing. Sparks erupted, and the ship faltered slightly. Eric coordinated with other pilots, striking simultaneously. The human squad created openings in the fleet's formation, causing several drones to collide and lose control. The alien fleet reacted quickly, firing beams of energy toward the human pilots. Jack weaved through the attacks, dodging and returning fire with precise bursts. Each pilot had to rely on instinct as well as strategy. Humans were small and weak compared to the aliens, but they were fast and unpredictable. That unpredictability became their weapon. Mia Thompson's drones acted as decoys, drawing fire away from the pilots. Satellites focused energy pulses on key points of alien ships, disrupting their shields. The humans struck with coordination, timing, and courage. Slowly, the fleet's advantage began to falter. Humans were fighting not just with machines, but with ingenuity and teamwork. Meanwhile, Dr. Bennett realized something vital. The central command ships communicated through a network of energy pulses. "If we disrupt their signals simultaneously," she said, "we can confuse the entire fleet." The plan was risky. If it failed, many pilots could be lost. But humans had never been afraid of risks when survival was at stake. Jack and Eric led the coordinated strike. Each pilot had a target. Drones protected the jets while satellites disrupted energy flows. Pulses hit the weak points at precise intervals following Dr. Bennett's calculations. The central command ships faltered, their shields flickering. The drones began moving erratically and smaller ships collided in confusion. The alien fleet struggled to maintain formation. The humans pressed the attack. Jack targeted a command node on the largest ship, firing calculated bursts. Sparks erupted, and for a moment the ship drifted out of control. Eric and other pilots struck other nodes simultaneously. The alien fleet's coordination faltered completely. On the ground, people watched the sky with awe. Explosions and lights streaked across the heavens. Civilians cheered as news spread that humans had disrupted the alien fleet. Soldiers and engineers worked tirelessly to support the pilots and scientists. Humanity was fighting back, and for the first time it seemed possible to win. The aliens attempted to regain control. Energy beams shot out at the human jets, forcing evasive maneuvers. Jack and Eric dodged skillfully, striking where the aliens were weakest. Every move was calculated, every action mattered. Humans were proving that courage and intelligence could match even superior technology. Meanwhile, Mia Thompson adjusted drones to focus on critical alien vessels. They acted unpredictably, confusing the enemy and drawing fire away from the pilots. Dr. Bennett monitored energy readings, updating the pilots in real time. Humans were working as one, using creativity, coordination, and courage to overcome overwhelming odds. Jack fired another precise pulse at a weak point on the central command ship. Sparks flew, shields flickered, and the ship began to drift uncontrollably. Eric struck another node, and the ship tilted. Smaller ships nearby collided or lost formation. The alien fleet's order had broken. Humans had achieved something incredible. The alien commanders realized that humans were unlike any species they had encountered. Other races had been predictable, obedient, and fearful. Humans were different. They were clever, adaptable, and willing to take risks. Their unpredictability made them dangerous. Jack and Eric continued to attack, pushing the aliens back. Drones and satellites provided constant support. Civilians below watched as humans fought bravely, defending their home. Every strike from the pilots was a statement. Earth would not surrender easily. The central command ship emitted a warning, cold and metallic. "Humans are insignificant. Surrender now." Jack ignored it. Eric responded in a calm voice over the radio. "Humans do not surrender. We protect our home." The pilots pressed the attack, refusing to retreat. Dr. Bennett calculated another opportunity. She found a sequence of energy pulses that could temporarily disable the alien ships completely. "This is it," she said. "Time your strikes perfectly, and we can create a window to force them to retreat." Jack and Eric received the instructions and shared them with other pilots. The coordinated strike began. Every fighter hit precise points on the command ships while satellites and drones disrupted shields. Sparks and energy flares filled the sky. Alien ships faltered, shields failed, and drones crashed. For the first time, the fleet could not respond effectively. Humans had forced them to retreat. On Earth, people erupted in cheers as news spread. Humanity had achieved a major victory. The alien fleet moved away from the planet, hovering at a safe distance. Jack and Eric returned to base, exhausted but proud. "We showed them humans can fight," Jack said. Eric nodded. "And we've proven that Earth is not weak. They will remember this." Mia Thompson and Dr. Bennett continued working on defenses, preparing for the next possible encounter. Humans had learned quickly, adapting to alien tactics and exploiting weaknesses. Their creativity, courage, and unity had turned the tide. Governments around the world celebrated the victory, but they knew it was only temporary. The alien fleet was powerful and could return at any time. Training and preparation continued, but confidence had grown. Humanity knew it could survive, even against overwhelming odds. Jack and Eric looked at the night sky, alien ships hovering far above. They had won the first major battle, but the fight was not over. Still, hope burned brighter than ever. Humanity had proven its strength. Courage, intelligence, and the will to protect their home could challenge even the mightiest empire. The aliens, retreating beyond the atmosphere, left a warning. Humans had only delayed the inevitable. But the message only strengthened human determination. They would not surrender. They would prepare, adapt, and be ready for the next challenge. Jack whispered to himself as he watched the stars. "We fight for our home. We fight for every life. We will not lose." Eric stood beside him, silent but resolute. Humans had survived impossible odds, and they would continue to do so. Civilians, soldiers, scientists, and engineers all felt the same resolve. Humanity was united. The courage and ingenuity of a small planet had forced a powerful alien fleet to retreat. It was a victory born not from strength alone, but from creativity, strategy, and unyielding determination. The battle for Earth was far from over, but humanity had sent a clear message. They were ready to defend their planet, no matter the cost. The aliens had underestimated humans, and that mistake could change the course of the entire galaxy. As night deepened, lights flickered across the cities and oceans. Humans celebrated quietly, knowing that victory was hard-won but meaningful. Pilots rested, engineers repaired, and scientists calculated. Everyone contributed to the defense of their home. Jack looked at the horizon, seeing both danger and hope. The aliens were strong, but humans had something they could never have: courage, adaptability, and the will to survive. That would always give them an edge, no matter how advanced the enemy. Eric placed a hand on Jack's shoulder. Today we showed them what humans are capable of. Tomorrow we prepare for the next fight, and we will win again. Jack nodded. Humanity was not weak and it was not afraid. The alien fleet, now distant, continued to monitor Earth, but humans were ready. Satellites, drones, fighters, and scientists all worked together, turning fear into power, courage into strategy. Humanity had survived, adapted, and struck back. The stars above seemed brighter that night. Humans looked at them, no longer only in fear, but with determination. They had defended their home, proven their strength, and earned a place in the wider universe. Humanity was united, clever, and fearless. They had shown the aliens that Earth would not surrender. Jack and Eric watched the sky, exhausted but proud. "This is only the beginning," Jack said. Eric nodded. "But we are ready. Humans will never back down." And with that, humanity prepared for the future. Their courage, creativity, and unity had turned the tide of battle. Earth was safe for now, and humans had proven that even the mightiest empire could not underestimate them. The war had only just begun, but humanity had already shown its greatest strength. They would fight for their home, no matter the cost. The alien empire had learned a hard lesson. Humans were not weak, predictable, or easy to control. Jack whispered one last time to the night sky, "We protect our home, always. No matter what comes." And for the first time in history, humans felt truly ready for whatever challenges awaited in the stars.